Monday, Hawks. It's sophomore McKenna Page here to start off the day. Today is Monday, December 18th, and it is a B Day. Today's students of the day are Annalise Aiken for reading Blanche in A Streetcar Named Desire, nominated by Mrs. Zimmerman. Stay tuned for weather, sports, and more. Now to Kendall with your news.
Hey Hawks, it's sophomore Kendall Dupree here with more of your Monday news. Attention all students, starting on Friday, December 22nd and ending on January 2nd is winter break. During this week, we will have different spirit days. Today's spirit week is holiday hats. Wear your best hat. Do you have gifts that need wrapping but you don't feel like wrapping them? Well then come down to the gym from 5:30 to 8 p.m. and have our volleyball team wrap them for you. Regents exams are happening soon. For students with testing anxiety, that means a dramatic spike in fear and worries. Hannah Bush and Ryder Sparling cover what testing anxiety means to students around Hawk Nation.
Every student knows that feeling of walking into a class that you know you're going to have a test in. The elevated heart rate, quicker breathing, off feeling. You've studied, or maybe you didn't, but will it have been enough? This is a universal feeling. Everyone's felt it at some point. But what really is it, and how can it be managed? Test anxiety is simply the nerves you feel before and during an important exam or test that can impair your ability to focus on, absorb, and remember information. You might have heard about the fight or flight mechanism, which is when the body releases adrenaline in response to perceived danger, and that is triggered here when your brain mistakes the stress and fear of a test as danger. An estimated average of around 50% of students are negatively affected by test anxiety. New York has some of the highest educational standards, and our school offers IB and AP courses. But what's the local impact? To find out, we sat down and spoke with some CPPHS staff. Do students come to you frequently for test anxiety, and how do you help?
Yeah, well, first of all, the first thing that we always stress is there's nothing like preparing. So that's the first part, is we talk to kids about, time management skills and how you're preparing for exams and keeping your time organized.
Have you seen your students go through test anxiety?
I see students every year who experience test anxiety. It comes in many forms. It comes in loss of sleep. It comes in lack of confidence.
What could make a testing experience worse or more stressful for students?
I think what makes testing worse for students is if they don't believe in themselves. I think students sell themselves short. They don't remember what they know, and they don't have faith in what they've learned.
Do you have any advice for students taking a test soon?
Get a good night's sleep. Eat dinner with protein in it. Just make sure that you have a solid, appreciation for what you know going into the session, and make sure that you are not trash talking yourself, right? Positive self-talk is always a good idea.
Now, let's see what actual students are experiencing. Have you ever experienced test anxiety? If so, how did it feel?
I feel anxious about it.
Dread too, but you have to do this test, and you cannot get out.
Try to remind myself that I've studied, that I know what I'm doing, so that I don't get too anxious, because that often makes me perform worse.
How have you found ways to manage test anxiety?
That's a good question. The biggest form of mental stability and security and just calmness is my Lord Jesus Christ. The second way is probably just having good time management skills is essential.
I study, I perform well on tests generally, so I remind myself I'm not going to fail. And studying with friends can also help, because you're in the same boat.
No?
Thanks, Hawks. Don't forget, in the library there will be Studio 315. CPPtv has just dropped our newest podcast on YouTube. Taylor Kayleen covers self-care, and her podcast is titled Unwind. And Aiden Kane covers all things Adventure Time, and his podcast is called This Just It. Check out these podcasts and more today. That's all I have for you today. Now over to Matt with today's weather.
Hey Hawks, it's Matt Scardino with your daily weather report. Today we have a high of 44 and a low of 32, and it's going to be cloudy. There's also going to be some rain showers throughout the morning as we make it through the day. Later this week it will be 50, So something to look forward to this weekend. Now let's take a look at what's going on in sports with Dom.
What's up, Hawks? It's Dominic here with your sports report. Over the weekend, boys swimming and diving picked up a win with their meet, while girls varsity basketball defeated 42-37 on Friday. Tonight, varsity and JV bowling take Emmy at home. Also, girls varsity basketball takes on a Burn at in-home game at 7:15 p.m. Now over to Jack.
Hello there, Hawks. Freshman Jack Madison here to wrap up the show. Thank you for tuning in to CPPtv, your daily source of news around the nets. If you missed anything around the show today or any previous shows, you can check them out at our YouTube channel at CPP. If to get updates for our show, follow our Instagram at cpp.tv and our TikTok at cpp.tv23. And remember, tomorrow is Fuzzy Socks Day. Thanks for watching. Keep flying, Hawks!